Hey everyone, today I want to make a video about my career, what I do, and kind of explain to you a little bit about instrumentation and controls. The title of this post is, if you like Arduino, this career could be for you. So I want to show you guys a project I made. So when I was in school, I had to go for my 2-year associate's degree, and we had to make a capstone project showing off what we know as it concerns to instrumentation and automation. So I built this color sorting conveyor belt where I just feed some candies down this conveyor system, and a color sensor attached to an Arduino would read the color and it would send a discrete output to a PLC. And then I wrote the logic in the PLC to, activate actuators to send the candies off the line in certain positions. And I noticed on YouTube, when you look at these videos, there's a lot of people that view videos about Arduinos, but there's not that many people that view videos about automation and instrumentation as a career. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about it. Instrument technicians maintain, test, inspect, and calibrate equipment to ensure that it's in good working order. And I'm here to tell you that it's a little bit more than that. Instrumentation and controls is basically a hands-on engineering job in the field of industrial maintenance, and you're a specialist that specializes in automated processes and electrical troubleshooting as well as calibrations. It's two different things. Instrumentation is your sensors or your instruments, and these factories have to calibrate those instruments to certain standards. And then the C part, controls, or the E part, instrumentation and controls, instrumentation and electrical, or sometimes they call it instrumentation and automation. That part is controlling these automated processes. When a machine stops working, the operator pushes the button and the thing won't do the thing, you got to run out there and figure out what's wrong with it. So you're going to bring electrician tools, a multimeter, and you're going to run over there and you're going to figure out where's the problem. Maybe it's the power coming into the panel. Maybe there's a blown fuse. Maybe one of your sensors isn't reading properly, but something in that automated process isn't right. And so that's what I do at work. That's instrumentation and controls, automation and electrical. That's what it is. And how does it relate to an Arduino? Well, an Arduino is the same exact thing. You program an Arduino, there's sensors, usually they're discrete on or off sensors, but sometimes analog sensors, and you're controlling a process. An Arduino is a programmable controller. A PLC, programmable logic controller, is the same thing as Arduino. It just uses a different programming language called ladder logic, and it's a lot more sturdy and robust and very expensive. And a lot of these companies have this equipment and they don't have people to work on it. So instrumentation technician, automation technician, sometimes electrical technician. These are kind of newer jobs that are created to fill a void within these companies. When these machines break down, these companies, they have to call contractors out to come fix it, and it's very expensive. So in the last 10, 15 years, I think a lot of companies have been adding automation technician, controls technician positions to their roster so they don't have to have outside people come in. So you come in and you're a specialist that's there to fix these machines when they break. Okay, that's cool. You're a controls technician, an automation technician. But what happens if they don't break? Well, we got to find something else for them to do. Well, we have all these calibrations that we contract out, and that's where you get your instrumentation and controls. You're doing calibrations, you're fixing machines, you're doing electrical work and electrical PMs, and that's the career. So that's what I do. That's what my channel is about. Anyone who's watched my other videos, maybe this is no new information. Maybe you'll get some new information, but I appreciate you guys checking it out. How much does this job pay? Here's the real important part. How much does it pay? So I see a lot of I&C jobs starting around 25 to 28 an hour for a first job. And it's good because we need those jobs out there so people with no experience can get the lower paying jobs that they can't fill. And then they go up, I'll say between $42 and $50 an hour at the top end, depending on the cost of living in the state you're in. You're somewhere like, let's say, I don't know, Georgia. I think Georgia's cheap. Maybe it goes up to 42 after you have a couple years of experience. If you're out in California, it's going to be about 50. So that's where you're at, 26 to 50 an hour. So now I just want to speak a little bit on the different job titles and job satisfaction. So job titles, here's the thing about the job title, is there's not an established title for an instrumentation and electrical technician. There's not one title. It's instrumentation controls, instrumentation and electrical, automation technician, automation and electrical, automation and instrumentation. They kind of mix and match those words together. So if you look up the data on this type of work, some of the results are kind of skewed, and sometimes it's difficult to get a clear picture of salary and job outlook and stuff like that. So if you do a little bit of research, I want to just suggest that you look at different titles and you look at different sources, because you're going to get a pretty wide variation in the information that's out there on the internet. So just keep that in mind. But if you look up job satisfaction, I think it's pretty common that this is a high job satisfaction field. And it's a well sought after skill set. My last job, the last place I worked at, there was 2 open technician roles. I was an automation and electrical technician, and those 2 open roles were open for almost a year before we found 2 people to fill them. And the one guy didn't even have an associate's degree. He had a certificate. He had a 9-month certificate from a college in motor controls, and they hired him. So the outlook's good, the job satisfaction's good, the pay is good, and there's not enough people to do the jobs. Once you get into the higher paying jobs, let's say you're up at the 40 an hour level, they're not going to hire someone right out of school for that, most likely. They're going to want you to have some real life skill set and experience on similar equipment to what's being used at that company. But once you get to that point, you're making $40 an hour, give or take. A lot of these jobs also have overtime opportunities. So it is a pretty high paying career, honestly. I look at it as pretty similar to nursing as far as compensation goes. But I'll just look up job satisfaction on the screen here so you can look at it. People enjoy this type of work. It's a solid career, and it's a career that you can leave at home. So I guess in conclusion, if you like messing around with Arduinos and you're good at it and you like figuring out the puzzle, I would highly suggest that you look into instrumentation and electrical or automation as a career, as a technician. You don't need a bachelor's degree to get this job. Usually it's an associate's degree, and if you play your cards right, you can start working while you're still getting your associate's degree. I did. I have some other videos on that topic. So yeah, all you Arduino people, check out my other videos. Just look into it. It's great. It's a great career. You want to look at engineering technology degrees to get started. A lot of people start out as an industrial maintenance technician and just kind of work their way up into controls. That's another way to get into it. So again, I just want to thank you guys a lot for checking out my video. Thanks for checking out my channel. I really appreciate you guys, and have a great day.